Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Cartels Unearthed. Really appreciate it. In this video, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to give you guys my opinion on Pablo Escobar. It's something that a lot of people ask me. A lot actually. People I meet in person, people on social media, and I do see how people talk about him, and I react to pictures and comments about him on social media in general, not just on my feeds. And it's obvious that people have a very strong opinions on him, whether they're good or bad. They're very, very strong. And like I said, I've seen it in social media, I've seen it in person, and I've experienced it in person, where people are literally just trying to drill their opinion in me, and they insist that their opinion is the right one. And I'm not like that. I'm someone who respects people's opinions. I'm more than happy to listen to them and make my own assessment of that opinion. And I expect the same from others, My opinion is always asked a lot because obviously I'm from the Ochoa family, and we obviously have a history with him. So I'm going to give you guys my personal opinion on him. Now, I never met him. I was too little, first of all, and second, I was born and raised in the U.S. So, obviously, my family, were in the business with him for a long time. They founded the cartel together, and even extended family members met him and hung out with him. I mean, the stories I've heard of people that weren't in the drug business, Ochoa family members who weren't in the drug business, but met him and hung out with him in social occasions and the parties they'd had. And, I've heard crazy stories, and I feel that the families were so close in the sense that had I been there, I probably could have gotten away with calling Pablo Uncle Pablo. You don't have to be biological to call someone uncle or aunt or something. I mean, I know kids from family friends who I have no biological relation to, but the kids, I'm close with the families, and they see me on a regular basis, that when they see me, they say Uncle George. It's a very common thing. It just shows a certain level of bond between families or friends. So like I said, I probably could have gotten away with Uncle Pablo. Nonetheless, just because our families were so close and we were, I could have gotten away with that, it doesn't mean that I have to love him. It doesn't mean that I have to have the best opinion of him. You can have family members you hate, you can have, or vice versa. Just because you're family doesn't mean you have to love your family, or friends, or whatever, or like each other. So, personally, for me, Pablo was a criminal. Pablo was a vicious, ruthless, evil terrorist. He is another version of a Hitler or a Mussolini. He did nothing good, in my opinion. Anything good that he did in his life was ruined by all the bad that he did. Building up a neighborhood for the poor, but then bombing the shit out of the rest of the country doesn't make it okay. Okay, I'm gonna bomb the rest of the country. I'm gonna bomb Bogota and Medellin and Cali, but I built this little town for the poor, so it's okay. I will be forgiven. No, that's I honestly, my mind doesn't almost never go. When I think Pablo Escobar, I never think of the good he did. I think of bad. And it takes a while to get to he did good stuff, It takes a while to get there. I don't admire him. I don't respect him. I don't look up to him as a hero, as someone to, strive to be. And I say these things because I've seen people who express their opinions in this matter. They almost, worship him, adore him, So, he did too much harm. There's still people in the world today who are living with the scars of what he did. He took violence to a whole new level. There's still kids out there who, haven't, who live their day remembering the last time they saw their mom or dad before they walked out for work and a bomb killed them, you know, or they got murdered going to work because they worked for the police or the judges or the government. You know, there's still too many people who live on a day-to-day basis with the scars of Pablo Escobar and the Medellin cartel in general. I'm not going to sit here and say my family was peaches and cream either, you know, but Pablo Escobar tends to be the figure that everyone draws their opinions of, good or bad, in a very heavy way. So the only thing I give him credit for, I give him props. It's the only thing I ever say, and it's his business acumen. Like, he had a business mogul type mentality, you know. He did for a business, which, even though it's an illegal business, it was nonetheless a business. He took something out of nothing and made it something really big, you know. He really just, there was no such thing as a super cartel, and he was able to make that happen, and he constructed the business from A to Z. There was no map, there was no guide, there was no, this has been done before. No, he saw something out of nothing, and he made it into something amazingly huge. You know, was it a legal business? Yes, but it was still a business. It was a business like any other business. It had all its policies and procedures like any other business. And so I look at him like that, you know. Had it been a legal business, he would probably be compared to Steve Jobs or Mark Zuckerberg or Henry Ford, who took something out of nothing and made it to something huge. You know, Steve Jobs saw what he can make, saw Apple of the future, and he made it happen, right? We have the phones, and we have the laptops, and he created the iPod, all this stuff. That didn't exist, and he saw it. He envisioned it, and he made it happen. Mark Zuckerberg saw Facebook, and he saw that all that social media. He envisioned it, and he made it happen. Henry Ford envisioned the assembly line. It didn't exist before. He made it happen. Pablo Escobar envisioned this business, you know, this worldwide drug business. It wasn't there before. He made it happen. So I give him props for that. And if it wasn't for it being an illegal business, Pablo Escobar would probably be compared to those men. But his violence, his viciousness, his wars, just his ruthlessness to not care about being a kid or an innocent mother or an innocent person in general, I think voids everything good he ever did. So, my personal opinion of him, curious to know, what is your opinion of him? I've heard many of them, so nothing surprises me, and I actually do like hearing people tell me their opinions and kind of like back them up as to why they have that particular opinion. So I'd love to hear yours. Comment below or let me know on Instagram, and you know, love him or loathe him. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can keep up with the latest videos. So I appreciate for tuning into this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.